That's beautiful. And this is where we ended off last week. Can everybody see my screen? Recording is started. Okay. Let's go. With that being said, I'm not going to waste a single minute on random yep. We'll literally just go right into it. Okay. Let me give you guys a quick recap of what happened last week. Fuck, I forgot to connect my DJI again. Anyways, quick recap of what happened last week and another reminder of what all this is for. This is basically our weekly Q4 boot camp, as I like to say. We had 16 lessons in total. Now it's 15. After today, it's going to be 14 lessons. So we start off with the game plan board. We still have to finish that off today. Then we'll do the product research. Ideally, we already started a bit with the product research today, or at least we get a plan of what we want to do with the product research. So we're not wasting too much time on the game plan board. And then next up, we have sourcing, competitor evaluation, preparation, mindset, content, do's and don'ts, Halloween, Black Friday, Christmas, and then how to transition to Q1. Because there's so many people, they may be making money in Q4, which is not hard, to be honest. You just got to make the best out of it. So any decision that you make false or wrong could cost you thousands and thousands, whereas every good decision could make you 10 times more money that you would be expecting. And on the other hand side, you have to be very smart with your transition from after Christmas to Q1. But that being said, this is for future calls. We still have to finish off our game plan from last time. So we evaluated that basically what we came up with is that everybody in this call is like, we're doing this together. I'm not the one just presenting you guys do this, because my game plan is obviously totally different to what you guys have in mind. And we agreed on building, what was he called? Organic Nemesis, right? I think his name was Organic Nemesis. This is Organic Nemesis brain. This is his blueprint for Q4. This is like the combination of all of our brains together. And we said the goal in Q4 is 100K revenue. That was on average the goal for everyone in this call. So 100K revenue in Q4. Then we have the main pillars, which are the product, the content, the scaling, and basically just doing more. So for the products, this is what we agreed on where to do the PR. Then we decided how to do the PR, and then a few more small things. That being said, now it's time to look at content.
It's nice that you thought about it, you know.
Okay, thank you, Ricky, for that input. That being said, let's talk about content. When we're talking about content, I'm not going to specifically talk about, okay, let's do this exact type of content. Like, as you guys would be imagining that we're now going to talk about Christmas or Q4 content. No. What I want to cover is like how much content, what strategy should we go for? Because I always have a very specific product launching strategy that we can talk about today as well, which is going to make the repeating process at the end easier. Guys, one thing you have to think about is, by the way, everyone active? You guys look like you're sleeping. Is everybody active in the fucking chat, or am I talking to a wall right now? Listening. Okay, cook. So you have to understand that those small details, such as, okay, let me use this Christmas hook, let me use this Christmas sound, this is not important for right now. It's going to be much more important to actually know how to launch all of your products with a specific blueprint, a framework that you can repeat every single time, right? It's the same as for Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo, every single time he takes his free kick, he takes 3 steps back, 1 to the left, and then he shoots. Because he's built this repetition every single time when he shoots a free kick, his accuracy is super high. So we need to build the same framework, the same repetition cycle in our organic mind, which is why I came up with the product launching strategy that I've been doing for months now. And this helps me do faster. Like, first of all, it helps me improve, go faster viral, and basically just launch products the lazy way. I like to call it the lazy way. And then, yeah, let's talk about this. So am I gonna share the Miro board? I think, yeah, for the one-on-ones, yeah, I can send you that. Okay. Let's start with some brainstorming. When we talk about content and what I just told you guys, what are things you can come up with? Like, when I tell you 2 keywords, okay? I'll tell you guys outcome, and another keyword I'll give you to spark some more ideas is product launch. What are we thinking about? Should we just upload one video per day? Should we upload in one market? How many phones should we have? What markets? What audiences? What niches? Should we do something specifically different for Q4? We're talking, by the way, now, very important, you guys have to switch your perspectives. You're not talking about your perspective, you're talking about the character we're building for Q4. The character we're building, his name is Organic Nemesis, right? Let me write that down because this name is actually sick as fuck. Organic Nemesis. We're trying to build Organic Nemesis blueprint for Q4. He wants to achieve 100K in Q4 because I'm seeing some guys that are saying two times daily. If you upload 2 times daily, you can make 10K. You won't be doing 100K revenue in Q4. So keep in mind, we're building Organic Nemesis. This is not your POV right now. You have to think of a third party. If you want this person to make 100K, what do you think would this person need to do in order to achieve 100K? Let's have a look at the chat. So I like the markets. People are saying Germany plus US. I would totally agree. And for the beginning, for our Organic Nemesis, for the goal he has, I would totally focus on these 2 markets. I would try always, if you're German, I would probably, so here's the thing. If you are not German, you should make US plus in brackets Germany your priority market. If you are German, you should make Germany your primary market plus maybe the US after scaling. Good transition for primed IGs. Let's call this Nico's TikTok plus IG strategy. Yep. 2 videos per day on US and Germany. Content ideas, brainstorming hooks, visual hooks, content ideas. Outcome. When we're talking about content, we obviously need to do content research. Then you guys are saying visual hooks, 2-3 videos per day. 2-3 videos per day. Are you guys fucking stupid? 2 markets. What the fuck, bro? What the fuck? I just said at the beginning of the call, everyone who's not minimum 10 uploads per day, you're gonna be half-assing your Q4. When I jumped on this call, I finished 10 unique videos plus 6 trial reels. Oh no, the other way around. 6 unique videos, 10 trial reels. So how are you guys, with all of what you're doing is just content? I have my personal brand. I did the YouTube videos. I was in the gym. I was managing my creators. I was talking to my Alibaba suppliers. I managed 2 other brands and I finished 16 videos. Why are you still telling me you want to do 2 to 3 uploads per day? Oh, you're talking 2, 3 for each product, I guess, huh? So if I was running last Q4, I was running 1 product every single day. So that was 7 products. Let's say 10 uploads per day. That is 70 uploads per week. Let me check if we're doing the same math. It should be the same math probably. So we said, let's say 3 products, daily 3 uploads for each market. 3 times 3, that is 9 times 2. That's 18. Okay, that's good. So I'll put minimum 10 uploads. However you split them on 1, 2, 3 products, I don't give a fuck. You have to do minimum 10 uploads per day. That's the bare minimum nowadays if you want to successfully, like fast. Obviously, we want to get the money fast, not in 6 months. If you want to make money fast and you fast track the process, you need to do minimum 10 uploads per day. What else? Product launch, yes. Different for Q4. Do more of what's working and master the basics. Master the basics. That sounds super good. I like that. Master the basics. First of all, target US because it's the biggest audience. 2 daily, 1 market and test phase. If it works, scale it on more profiles, more markets. Outcome. Content research minimum. Scale in more markets. markets. When? That's actually super important. Okay, let's talk about this later. I'll note that down here so we don't forget. Scale. When? We'll talk about that later. Because that's also how you can fuck it up quite fast. Multiple. If you know your products want to run it for longer than 2 weeks, even. Ooh, that's good. Confidence in product. Oopsie. Can we post same video in different accounts? No, you'll get shadow banned. 10 uploads per day. Can we upload 10 videos per day on TikTok though? Not 10 per product, different niche, different markets, different niche, different niche, different niches. Yes. Besides different markets, we also have different niches. So for example, if you would be selling this globe right now, you could sell it in the couples niche, in the marriage niche, in the baby, I already said the baby niche, in the dog niche, animal niche, whatever it might be. You can do so much shit. TikTok Shop AI, yes, but that's okay. Let's put that down as well. I'd say TikTok Shop in general. TikTok Shop in brackets AI. Yep. Are you gonna run seasonal products so I could upload 10 videos on one product on TikTok? Is that what you say? I wasn't gonna discuss them, but my testing phase we should post less. Don't know. Yeah, there's a total for which, but if none. Okay, that's why. Okay, so that's good. Let me have a look. Is anything missing? Something that I'm doing that you guys forgot to say? Minimum 10 uploads. TikTok Shop AI, different niches, scale and more markets, confidence in product. Nico's IG, that's important for the product launch. This is the outcome. Okay. So let's sort this shit. We have content, the product launch, the outcome. Those are the two driving factors which will decide and help us repeat success. Product launch. This is for the product launch. This is the outcome. Master the basics. This is here. Scale and more markets. Outcome. Minimum 10 uploads is here. US and Germany. Product launch. Product launch. Confidence in products. Confidence. TikTok Shop AI is here. Content research is here. So, can you guys follow me? Give me a quick update. I'll bring some light to it in just a second and fill it out with words, just so you get where I'm going so far. Okay, so what we just came up with is basically an explanation what we just discovered, or what we just came up with, is a clear content strategy, which most of you guys probably have never thought about, or you haven't thought about it that clear, that you should always have, even if it's not Q4, for your content. It's actually quite funny that now everybody wants to go full ham in Q4. You guys have to realize that you should have already done all these things. In Q4, it's just time to earn the fruits of your labor. But beautiful. I like the fact that we all know we need to do more and that we want to make more money. So that being said, let me quickly touch on outcome, because outcome in general with organic is super motherfucking important. It is not only important in Q4, it is also important if it's not Q4. So what you want to do, let's start with this. Minimum 10 uploads. Where's my, let me get a pencil. This, holy shit, this is ugly. Okay, this could work. I don't care. So we're starting off with minimum 10 uploads in Q4. If Organic Nemesis wants to make 100K revenue, he has to get used to making 10 uploads per day. We will talk about those 10 uploads in just a second. Whether you do 3 unique videos and 7 trial reels, we can talk about that, because there's specific strategies on maximizing your output while giving it the same input, right? This is super important. We'll talk about that later when it comes to repetition and scaling. Outcome, TikTok Shop AI. One thing I basically want to cover on is what I would say that is so important about the TikTok Shop thing, I actually explained that in my recent YouTube vlog, which is not online yet, is that with TikTok Shop, you have to think about this as your fuel. Let me build a different picture here. If you think about stocks, right? You have stocks that you can invest in the S&P 500, which will make 10% increase per year. Okay. But on the other hand side, you can go full send on some crypto coins, which will make you up to 200% a year. The TikTok Shop thing right now for us as organic people, because we're not super good on it, but also it can work for us. Like, you have to understand TikTok Shop and organic content is not too far away. So for all of my German guys, by the way, and all of my people in the US who can easily start with TikTok Shop, like, you don't have to get some weird ass VAT number. All you just have to do is get an account with the requirement of the followers for the US 5K and Germany 1.5K. Start sprinkling in some TikTok Shop AI. Our organic nemesis right now is in such a prime position. He already knows how to do content. He knows how much content to do. So out of those 10 uploads that he's doing per day, I would tell him to do 10 to maybe 20% focus on TikTok Shop content, just because of the fact that this gives us easy money. And you have to understand, like, I cannot talk too much about the TikTok Shop AI thing because that's things that go behind the scenes. But the TikTok Shop manager that I'm talking for, that I have dedicated for my TikTok Shop account, the campaigns that will be rolled out in Q4 are so fucking crazy. None of us organic dropshippers can have the same campaigns with that on our normal organic stores whilst keeping good profit margins. That's simply not going to work. But if you just participate in this in this realm with 20%, and you just make good videos and you don't have to think about the back office, you can still make like consistent 10K, even though just by putting in 20% into this TikTok Shop thing, right? So that's just one small note I wanted to touch on. Then when we talk about outcome, one thing that is very important is the different niches. Every single time nowadays when I start a new content, or also back then, that was always the same. That's my same thinking. When this product, first of all, does it have any competitive edge? Does it have any barrier to entry? If yes, that is good. Next up, because you want to minimize the competition. For the Halloween people right now, you can see the Halloween calendar was being stolen by everyone. Everybody jumped on the Halloween calendar. That is because you could not have, or you didn't have any competitive edge. So first off, kill competitors. And then second of all, is that you need to have, ideally in product, you can run in multiple different niches, so that you already have the product, even though it might not be working in that one specific niche, in the animal niche maybe you just keep switching the niche, and now you target, like, I don't know, car people. Like, there's so many different products where you can actually bring the product to different niches. Or if you already have a winning product, like, I'm not talking about brand new products. It could be about products that already exist on the market, which have already proof of concept, that are high converting. Or maybe you come up with the angle which is even higher converting. Try thinking of different niches, right? This is super important. So scaling in more markets. Let's go around from here to here. Scaling in more markets. Yes, we'll touch on that later on when we talk about scaling, because I want to actually dive deep on that. But obviously, scaling in more markets is obviously going to make us more money. The rule of thumb, help me out, guys, which are good markets. So if we had to chronologically sort them, we have the US, then we have Germany. What's next? Which markets do you think come next? UK, Spain, UK, Ukraine. Netherlands, Finland. Okay. So here's what I'll do. UK/Australia. And then this is basically all the same. Like Italy, Spain, and France, they are all the same. Depending on the product, depending on the niche, it actually totally varies in these countries. Whereas with US and Germany, it's not too important what country, what niche you target. Whereas the lower converting market you go, the better your content needs to be, the better the niche, the more passionate it has to be, the more perceived value your product has to have. Whereas in US and Germany, you almost can get away with anything. So then we have the content research. What about the content research? Why did I put content research down here? Why is that so important for the outcome? W sale. W sale? Did I just get a sale? Oh yeah, W. To go viral, because content is what makes you money. Be more specific. Obviously, content makes us money. Content needs to be high converting though. Yes, high converting sounds good. High converting sounds good. Let me just add another few stitch notes here again. Text. Why can I not add text? Text. Hello. The fuck? Okay. So, high CVR content. Obviously, viral content, huh? Right, guys? Content needs to be viral in order to make us money. Viral content. What else? Less dropshipping. Yeah, that's good. Let's put that as good content. Research on burner account. Yeah. Burner. Let's just put that. Research, comp, burner, outside niche. I'll elaborate that in just a second as well. And then I'm still looking for one more thing, because content is what makes you money, to see what your competitors are doing, to stay on top of the market, see what's working, let's drop ship. What do you recommend being all on the call? You being all in. By the way, would you recommend being all in on the call right now? And then controversial, bro. What? No, what the fuck? What the fuck is this English? By the way, would you recommend being all in on the call right now and then look at the recording to take my notes? And then look at the. Yeah, I would be all in on the call and then take the notes afterwards with the call recording. Good question. After I understood your cryptic sentence, it makes sense. Yeah, I would focus on the call first, and then I would always take the notes in the call recording. When I was in university, I was doing the same. I was focusing on what the professor was talking about, and then I was looking at the presentation again and taking my notes out of it. Gather ideas. Nope. Okay, so what was I actually? High CVR content, viral content, good content, research comp. Okay, let's keep it like that. So let me elaborate the content strategy, the product launch strategy that I'm always going for. This is going to be super important, and I actually want to publicly talk about it because I don't want to explain it to everyone all the time. So I'll explain it once and for all. If you guys are too stupid to execute on that, because this is the easiest way to make money, to launch products, to run 7 products at the same time, then now listen up, fasten your seatbelts. So Nico's product launching strategy. Can you guys explain me in your words again why this is actually so important to understand? Why to have a product launching strategy? I told you guys in the beginning, it's actually super simple. Why is it so important? So you don't waste time. Yes. Clear plan for efficiency. Have a game plan. Yes. Work and then double down. Yes. Be more specific. There is one exact word I told you about, which is super important for success. You have to be able to know exactly how to repeat your success. If you don't know how to repeat your success, you're just lucky. You can have a one-time wonder, and that is it. Which is why I always like to track things. I like to have a game plan. So then when I look at the game plan and I see something is not working, then I know exactly, oh shit, it was the content. Because of the content, we were maybe not converting. You need to know your entire game plan, your entire framework, and then be exactly able to tell, bam, this is why the plan didn't work out. Which is why Alex and I are so good when it comes to reverse engineering and telling you guys how to go viral, because we know exactly how the viral formula is working. So if we see something that is not working with a text hook, maybe we can exactly tell you, like, this text hook is trash, switch that. Okay, we know everything was good, but there was one controversy element missing. Add that controversy element, go viral the next time. And you need to have that framework. It's called a framework. You need to have that for everything in business. Not only for content, you need to exactly know how to go viral and how to minimize kind of the chances of not going viral, right? And then for the product launching strategy, you need to have that as well, because you just don't want to just start randomly uploading content every single time. You want to know exactly, okay, with the product launching strategy, it obviously already starts with the product research. You need to know exactly, you need to know your exact behavior. You need to have studied yourself. You need to have studied other lessons as well to know exactly what you're looking for. So it starts with the product research. Okay, step one. Let me show you like this. It always starts with the product research, right? You need to master your product research with 10 out of 10 points. As always said, like, you know the criteria are in the WOP course. You need to make sure that there is no mistakes. Then, after the product research, you need to go into the content research. And in the content research, you cannot make mistakes. How can you even make mistakes in the content research? You can if you just find old videos that are not really viral, if you copy videos that are not really viral, and so on and so forth. And then it goes into the content creation, the content conversion, and so on and so forth, right? Like, I don't want to break down the entire business. You know exactly how the business chain looks like. What I want to tell you now, to illustrate the picture easier for you guys, in order to understand which trigger to kind of, how to find the trigger that is making the difference, rather a winning product and a losing product. So if you look at this, all of those steps here, those are steps, the steps of the, I don't know, let's call it the organic product lifecycle chain. Organic business life cycle, something like that. So now imagine if your product research, instead of getting 10 out of 10 points, now you settle for worst product, which only got 6 out of 10 products. You already fuck up all the steps afterwards. So this is already fucked up, right? Which is why it's always so important to make everything right from the beginning. You need to always start with 10 out of 10, which is why the product research is so important, which probably why you would need a mentor to tell you exactly this is a good product. Because if you fuck up the last step, right? Let's say you're now in the content conversion. All of these steps right here, you did everything right. So this time, let me show you like this. If you did everything always right, you have the right product, you did the right content research, you have the right content creation, but now you stopped conversion. You didn't convert. Why? Everything else is working good, but this last step you fucked up. Now you have to know, oh shit, I only converted 6K per million views. Let's just say it like that. Now it's super easy to actually fix this. It's so easy to fix this because you don't have to go back to the product research. You don't have to start completely from scratch. All you have to do is just make this part better. You have to become better at your conversions. And there's so many different things you can obviously do to increase your content conversion. Because you have a good product, because you did good research, because you did good content creation, now you just have to work on the content conversion. You have to make sure you use all of the converting elements, the pin, the profile, CTA comments, CTA GIF, story, highlights. There's so many different things you can do, right? So if you always need to make sure the thing you fucked up is the latest step in the chain that you can still improve. Otherwise, your entire product launch is cooked and you have to start from zero again. So I hope this made sense. I haven't looked at the chat for fucking 10 minutes because I was so focused right now on explaining, but just give me a quick feedback. Did I miss any important question? Did I miss any of your guys' attention, or was that more or less a good explanation? This is, by the way, just the theory. I know. Fuck the Matrix agent. So this is just bro. This is just the theory. I'm now gonna show you guys exactly how I'm doing it as well to minimize all of these risks that I'm just talking about. Bro, holy shit. Perfect, great explanation, very clear. Okay, beautiful. So this is the theory on basically what you just needed to understand in order to now follow my strategy. Because my strategy is called the lazy way of making money. It's actually so easy, bro. Also, before we go into the actual practical steps, let me tell you guys about this, because right now I've been talking with this with my creators, by the way. Carbrace, 10 out of 10 product. Content research, 10 out of 10. Content creation, okay, most likely with the creators, it's more like an 8 out of 10 instead of a 10 out of 10. But let's just say it's a 10 out of 10 as well. And we know that we're not making, like, we know all of these steps right here. They are mastered. We got 10 out of 10 points here. So the only thing why we're not converting is because we probably fucked up something in the last step, which is why I'm always so chill. I am so chill. One creator recently told me, when you're on the calls and you did make a single sale that day, which happens very rarely, almost never, but even if I make less than 500 euros per day, I feel fucking depressed. But obviously I don't show it because I know exactly what to work on. So what I'm saying to you guys is don't act emotional. Don't fuck up the entire system that you build. Build a system where you know exactly which trigger to change in order to strive for success again. It makes, like, I'm so fucking chill with the Carbrace still because I know all of these things, they are banging. If we don't convert, cool. There's so many outside factors on macro perspective view that we don't have any influence on. But if you follow this exact path, it gives you so much more confidence running this business and running products. Whereas now imagine you wouldn't have this plan and you would just be running products and it stops converting. Then you would be panicking. You would think, oh my God, my product is trash. You would try and find the next product, but then you don't have any momentum and you start with zero again. Please start thinking as a businessman. Oh, good question. How can you build that knowledge of reverse engineering or that skill to always know what's working? I guess you just have to... Oh, fuck. That's actually a very good question. I'd say for me, it's quite easy because I have those calls with you and somehow I need to spit some sauce. So I'm kind of forced to come up with this shit on random. But I would say subconsciously, you just know it because it's nothing else than just being in the business and doing it. You just have to know what you're doing, using your brain and analyzing what you are actually doing. I was always the guy who's analyzing all of his videos. I was never the guy who was looking at his analytics over hours and hours. I was looking at the bigger picture and seeing, like, how can I connect this dot with this dot, put both of them together, and then bam. Like, so many people don't even make the connection between high converting products with high converting video concept. Overall, you just have to learn from the else. Gabriel's been muted for a lifetime. The lazy way of making money. So there's a few of my creators inside this call. Tell me, what is the product launching strategy the lazy way? Help the VIP people out. What's the product launching strategy that we always do when we start a new product? Copy your com. I thought somebody said copy your mom. Copy your mom. Reinvent the wheel. Okay, I can tell Huang is not my creator anymore. That was totally wrong. What if you don't have any comms, copy proven concepts, copy what's working, copy first 10? Okay, so here's the thing. We're talking about our organic nemesis, right? Let's not lose track. We're still trying to make organic nemesis a demon who's gonna make 100K this Q4. It's probably not a complete beginner. It's already somebody who's running 1 or 2 products and maybe making some money. Like, realistically, most of you guys make like 5K revenue per month, right? So you have one product, you have another product, and then now you want to start the new products. But those products, they already take you organic gold. Organic nemesis is the OG, bro. So with this, you have to understand with the current products that you're already running, let's just say, for God's sake, 4 hours per day that you are putting into this business with content creation, improving the website, and so on and so forth. I need a fucking iPad, bro. So now for Q4, what you want to do is you want to run up product 3, product 4, and let's just say product 5. So the way we do that without burning out, we are still creative people. We need to have all our brain cells where they belong to. So that being said, the product launching strategy for, let's just write it down for product 3. Let's say product 3, just so you guys know exactly always what I'm talking about, so I'm not talking too cryptic, is for the calendar. We decided to run up the calendar with Organic Nemesis, right? Organic Nemesis is already running 2 products, which currently take him 4 hours per day. The way he's doing it now, so obviously we use Nico's product. Oh, let's do that other way. TikTok, Playground, plus IG, niche, growth, method. So this is how I'm nowadays always going about launching my products. So does everybody know what the TikTok Playground method plus the IG niche growth method mean and how it's working? Zaxed is asking, what's TikTok Playground method? You're cooked, bro. Everybody who does not know what that is, let me quickly share the YouTube video. So in this YouTube video, I exactly explain what that is. So now this is just a requirement for you guys knowing. Everybody who doesn't know it, you're a bad supporter anyways because you haven't watched that YouTube video. So I don't give a fuck if you don't understand what I'm about to explain. So basically what we'll do is the TikTok Playground method plus the IG niche growth method. And this is already something you need to think about when you are doing your product research, because sometimes this doesn't work with all products. Some products are already totally cooked on TikTok. Other products won't work with the IG niche growth method. So you always already in your PR, you need to think about, this is what I'm going for. This is how I will grow my brand. Does this actually work with this product? If yes, beautiful, order the product. Now we're at the stage of actually executing. So we'll go 2 different paths, the TikTok and the IG niche growth method. IG niche growth method, you guys know how to do it. I don't need to explain the IG niche growth method. I'll just add the link here. So this, and let's add a cool picture. And this. So this is for the IG niche growth method. It's not fucking rocket science. This is all you need to know. The TikTok Playground method is where it actually becomes super important. And I actually don't think I covered that on the YouTube video. So now, fellas, listen up. This is super important. We are starting 10 uploads ASAP. Okay, let me make that bold because this is actually super important. 10 uploads ASAP. This is the golden rule. This is always what I'm going for. Right now, we still haven't started with the content creation. with the content research. So as of now, I still don't even know what kind of content I want to do. All I know every single time when I do my growth method, I just know I need to do those 10 uploads ASAP. Why? Because why, bruh? Tell me, why? To find something that works, to see what performs the best, so I can find proven concepts to post on our... Guys, there is one specific word. Come on, we need to be very good with the terminology here as well. What's it called that we're looking for? We're looking for the outlier. Yes, sir. Beautiful. Outlier. We want to find this one specific outlier. The easiest way. So you have to understand. Let me add this here as well. Can I add some text here? What we're doing here is the lazy hunt for the content outlier. You'll understand in just a second why it's called the lazy hunt. But this thing right here, the path we're going for is called the lazy hunt. So we know we have 10 uploads. What do we do with those 10 uploads? How do we actually know what we do with those 10 uploads? We do some content research. So now it's your guys' time to shine. How do we do content research? I think there's a full lesson on that on the WOB, if I'm not mistaken. Burner, competitors, and niche in general, both US. Yes, you guys are already saying it right, but you're not saying it in chronological order. And it is very important to do everything in chronological order so we know exactly at what point we fucked something up. So now be in chronological order, super specific. When we do the content research for those 10 uploads, where do we start with the content research? You obviously have to think about it. The first content research videos we find will be the first videos we'll make. So should those videos that we found in our content research from the niche research outside our niche, is that the video we want to upload? Or exactly, Kian, it's from the biggest competitors. Research of biggest competitor. This is always what I'm doing. Then you have the burner. And we have the outside niche. One thing that is super important for all of these three content research parts is we want to find their videos. Okay, let me put the other way around. Whilst we're doing that, while we're doing our research, we add all of this on our to-do list. To-fucking-do list. So on this to-do list, whilst we're doing the research, let's say we found 2 videos from our biggest competitors that we can do. So one video, competitor, then we have another video from our viral competitor, and then we have a few videos from our For You page, from our burner, from that specific niche, then a few ones outside of the niche, and so on and so forth. So we have this list of, in this scenario, 4 videos which have proven concept. Proven concept means it's a viral video and it's recently viral. And then we sort this by most recent viral, by most recent virality. So number 1 should be the first video we copy, most recent viral video. Because there is always open vacuums. If person A started with the old grandma ripped clips and person B started the day after, person B probably had the same opportunity and the same chance of going viral with the same exact video because the algorithm didn't catch up yet on stolen ripped clips. However you want to put it. So, whereas if now anybody is going to try and rip those grandma's clips, you're going to immediately get shadow banned. So you always have open vacuums, which is why speed matters so much. So we have that to-do list. From that to-do list, we start doing the content. The content that we do from that to-do list, you have to think of it like this. So now we're actually in the content creation part. Let's call this La Creación. Let me get a cool emoji. Can somebody send in that emoji so I can just copy and paste it like this Italian with the sparkles? Because I don't have the emojis ready right now. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes, yes, I need the sparkle. Someone give me that sparkle as well. Tap FN. Why the fuck can I not copy this shit? Yeah, on my MacBook I can do that, but not. I have a fucking cheap ass keyboard, and I have no. Yeah, okay, I fucked up everything. Fuck it, bro. We'll just call it La Creación. La Creación is the content creation. I don't give a fuck if people leave. Shall they leave? Shall they leave? I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for you guys. So if anybody's not interested in that, you have free will. If you think you know better than me, go ahead. If you actually think you know better than me, please come on stage. Okay, we are now in the La Creación phase, which I like to call the content creation phase. It is super important. It's super important. Let me actually make this poetic. Okay, I cannot come up with the poetic phrasing, but anyways, you want to start off with no originality in the beginning. Start copying one by one. The more content you do, the more original you want to go. Fuck, I'm so smart. Okay. This is for your content creation. Before you start filming, before you start editing, this is always what you need to start. I myself, bro, I've been doing organic for fucking 2-3 years now. This is the same method I follow every single time, and it works every single time. I don't have to test a million products. If I just test one product, I can make it work just because I follow this exact path. So the way we'll do that, it's now very important because many people fuck that up and only copy one-on-one, and some people fuck it up and they change too much too fast. So this is very important to actually know how big is that gray zone we're talking about, right? So let me elaborate on that. We have the content. It's more like a mindset thing in the beginning and a strategic move that you're doing in the beginning while you're copying, instead of the goal of going viral and making money within the first week, right? I mean, there's different strategies, different methods you can go about. This is just how I like to do it. In the first week, I like by starting to copy, first off, because I want to get to know, okay, exactly for this product, what's good backgrounds working, what's good music working, what good text hooks are working, what movements, camera, hand movements, whatever it might be, all those small details that I would have to find out by myself if I started from scratch with a super original video, I now got from the competitor just by copying. And guys, if you are very good at copying and making your video look the exact same than your competitor's one, you will go viral and make the money, which means you just made money the lazy way. All those brain cells that you needed for coming up with the original video, you don't need. If you are super fucking good at copying, it works. It fucking works. Now, here's the important thing. it doesn't work forever, which is why everything is so binding on speed, execution, and skill. If you do this with a product that's already been 6 months on the market and you copy videos that have been 6 months old, it's not working. If you come up with if you good with product research, you found the product last week, they've been going viral yesterday, you do the one-on-one video today, you will go viral. And then now it's the next important rule. The copying is not working forever. The copying you only want to do for the first 10 days, so you get used to the product, you know exactly what's working for the product, and you tried it the lazy way. The reason you want to try it the lazy way, I'll tell you in a second as well. But the main thing you kind of, I lost track of thought. I have so many thoughts in my mind. What was I just about to say? You go viral, make money, speed, this, that. Yeah, you have to. What I want to say is, after you go viral, you own this concept. You own your account. Your account is healthy. Once you go viral, once your account is healthy, it means you can use rip clips, you can use so many other things. Always before that first viral video, your account is always semi-cooked. It can at any time get shadow banned. So after you go viral the first time, bam. This is your invitation to go more original. Now you are the top dog. Before you go viral, you are a fucking scumbag. I'ma be honest. Nobody gives a shit about your videos. So who do you think you are with a competitor that's already making it work, thinking, nah, I don't need to copy him. I'm much better than him if I start doing my original content. Bro, what? This makes no fucking sense. But now, you go viral, you are top dog as well. There's 2-3 competitors running this product. And you'll always see everybody has to come up with new angles. At that point, you have to go original. You have to ride the wave because you have to kill your competitors. Because the more you can think of your own original ideas, the more you will kill your competitors, because then they will start copying. And we just discovered copying is not working forever. So basically, the top dog is always the version who can always ride the wave the longest. The person who can come up with the most different, most original content ideas, who can execute the best at filming, who can execute the best at editing, who knows all of the strategies when it comes to re-uploading, reusing, and converting. That will be the ones riding the wave. Does that make sense? You start out by copying one-on-one for the first 10 uploads. Ideally, your copy is so good that you should go viral. You should have a viral outlier within the first 10 uploads. Then you need to think of it of a step-by-step process. So we've been copying 100%. Okay, now I found my viral outlier, 50K. Obviously, you need to change something because that video, if it didn't go super viral, you need to start split testing. That means from the 100% that you were copying, you now do 90%. You change 10%. Okay. Video starts performing better again. You move. You go more original. At some point, you are 100% original. Your account is going viral every other day. Boom, bam, ding. Went fucking viral with the system. Now it's time to repeat this shit. Somebody was asking something about Carbrace. I just saw. What was that? Carbrace. Who did you copy one-on-one for Carbrace? I was copying Carstyle Jewelry, CSJ. God bless you for that sauce. You cumped the sauce. One of my competitors, not even a dropshipper, his videos are very bad, but he pulled millions per video, lol. Can you be more specific and show us the account? Okay, so basically that is the way. Everybody who's nowadays not doing that, in my opinion, is just stupid. And now I'll explain you guys why you are stupid for not doing it. I should probably not explain the system, but just to give you guys more perspective on why this is actually so good. So now you are in a very fortunate position because you can repeat. You have a system that is tracked. If you look at this, you know exactly, okay, did I fuck it up here? Did I fuck it up with the uploads? Was my research trash? What exactly here was trash? If you always have that system, you can just have a look at your system, be like, oh, okay, my content creation, I didn't start with the most viral video. I started with one video from my content research that was viral 9 months ago. Yeah, obviously it's not going to work anymore. Not saying you shouldn't try it, but now we have the system. We know how to repeat it, and we started the lazy way. Now let me explain you guys why the lazy way is actually so important. It's not that we want to be lazy on point, because we're actually we are super fucking smart by doing that. We're so fucking smart because look, we still put in the 4 hours as usual for our product before. We now have another product running without losing the time from our previous product. We didn't lose any brain cells. We were still able to do product research and so on and so forth. And now we do the same exact fucking thing for product number 4 and product number 5. That way, it was so easy for me last year to just add new products. And it makes testing also so much easier. Because many of you guys, when you test, you forget about your old products. No. Your old products, they are the fucking base. They make you the money. The new products, they have no priority. You want to start, you make more money with new products, you want to implement more products. Yes, sir. But you cannot forget about your cash flow products. This is so stupid. You need to implement the new products with the system, which I like to call the lazy way, because just copying is super easy. And by the time being, you go viral with the lazy research, it starts making you money. So that way, it's being bumped up. And that way, moves over here. What was the question about? What if my competitors, not even the dropshippers' videos, are very bad? Bro, now everybody please look at this and tell me, why do you think this is bad? I don't need to look at the content. There is a very simple answer to why we psychologically think that this is bad content. No, it has nothing to do with the content itself. Not made for the niche? Nope. No, I don't want to share my videos. No background, no hook. Nope. Evolution. Simply evolution. The content that has been performing a year ago is not the same content that is going to perform this year. Content evolution. If you think of old dropshipping videos, but the normal ass backdrops, and you just show off the product, it could be the best content back then, performing at 10K per million views. If you would show this nowadays to somebody, he would be like, bro, what? This is dog water. But what would you do better now? Like what variant? This is not a one-on-one call, my brother. I'll have to keep going with my Q4 game plan. So, does this make sense? Can we check the product launch strategy? Does everybody understand now how to do it so we can move on to the next part? Understood very well. Beautiful. Scale. Let's talk about scaling, because this also goes perfect. This is actually the perfect transition. All the way from here, let's draw a big arrow from... Okay, wait, we have to add a few more things after this. After the creation, the final goal is first viral video, aka making money. So we're not going to talk about how to make the most amount of money at that point. We're not going to talk about account health and account status and account levels, because that's gonna take another 4 hours. But just knowing that the final goal, obviously, with every product is to go, like, especially in this product launching, you reached your goal with the product launching strategy, and you know mentally that you can switch to the next level, the scaling level, if you went viral and you start to make money. The second you start to make money is the second you want to start scaling. But now, scaling can be understood in various different things. So, scaling is obviously something you want to do when you start making money. What? Okay, let's do another brainstorming. We know when. Tell me how. Tell me now in the chat how. How do we scale? What opportunities do we have? Everybody who doesn't know and doesn't spit facts immediately probably hasn't watched my most recent YouTube video either. So, new markets, yes. Creators, yes. Okay, quickly before we move on, what if the first 10 uploads don't go viral? Does that mean the copying isn't good enough? Exactly. That means your content quality is trash. Because every single time when I copy, I always go viral. Most of you guys think you're copying super fucking well, but then I look at your copy and I look at 2 different videos. So simply, your copy was just trash. Okay, then we have all of the ads. I'll just put it like that. Supply chain optimization. How can you scale without creators? Scaling as solvepreneur without creators. We can talk about that as well. Different audience, target new countries, new markets. Yeah, new markets is the same as new countries, but new audience is different. New audience can mean so much as, for example, before you were selling the global to soccer niche, now you're promoting it in the baby niche. Supply chain optimization. Okay, beautiful. I can tell who watched the YouTube video and who didn't. So let's call this the back end optimization and the front end, just to keep things a bit more general. I think this is more than enough. I mean, there's plenty more ways, but this is more than enough for me to now give me some track on yapping. How to scale. So let's come back to Mr. OG Organic Nemesis. Organic Nemesis wants to make 100K revenue because this is also now very important. The main reason I wanted to talk with you guys about how is because there's so many different ways. There's so many different ways we can go with scaling. Organic Nemesis wants to make 100K revenue. He knows exactly what products he's doing. He exactly knows how to launch his products, but he doesn't know how to get more. Like how is he doing more? Scaling is also the same word as just more output. Scaling means more. No matter what, more. More products, more content, more markets, more creators, whatever it might be, just more. Scaling means more. So if you're thinking of scaling, because I think so many people, you just have a universal view. You need to think of a multiverse. You can do this, you can do that, you can go that way, you can go that way. So now we need to work all together. We need to find the best way for Organic Nemesis to scale to 100K revenue. He's probably gonna, with this strategy, you can easily pull 50K with one product. But you can also go to 100K if you scale at the right timing with the right strategy. Every product is a 100K product if you know exactly what to do. So that being said, many people, they know, they find a good product. Let me put it like that. Let me reverse engineer that thought for you guys. Why do many people not make 100K figures? Why do many people not make 6 figures with that product? They have the good product. All these steps here, they've done the right way. They are doing the right things. They're doing the right product. They're doing the good content. But then at some point, they just fuck it up. They fuck up the transition from making this a 5-figure product to a 6-figure product. You can be fucking stupid and retarded. If you just follow all the things that we just explained, you will make, with closed eyes, 5 figures with any random product. So now, and this is truly challenging, is the transition from 5 figures to a 6-figure product. I actually don't want to say this is easy. This is actually hard making the transition because it depends. You kind of need to have the experience from a 6-figure dropshipper without having made 6 figures yet. Does that make sense? It's always so fucking hard to make your first 10K because you don't know how to make 10K. It's so fucking hard to make 6 figures because you don't know how to make 6 figures. But you need to know that in order to achieve it. So the way we do it is the following. Organic Nemesis, first of all, Organic Nemesis is our brain. Like, it's our combined brain from all of us in this call right now. So what we're saying will scratch ads. Organic Nemesis, it's not gonna scale. This Q4, no ads. But this right here, getting a selfpreneur, yes. Most of you guys, you're probably by yourself. It's gonna be too late to build a creator army. But also, adding 2 or 3 creators to your team, yes, can work. Improving the front end, doing better front end, yes. Back end, better supply chain, better prices, faster shipping, yes. New audiences, yes. New markets, yes. Boom. How? How to do all of that? Now, let me tell you. The transition that we have to make now from getting our first sales and our first ever viral video to doing all of that is not gonna be just a fucking second. It's a slow progress that most of you guys don't realize, which is why you're stuck in the same position. You have to be aware at all times where you are at with your business. Okay? Because so many times you guys get shiny objects and, oh my God, holy shit, I just made a 1K day. And then I don't know what the fuck is happening with you guys, but then you just stop making more money. This makes no sense. The second you make money, it's the easiest thing to just make more money. You just have to do more. For some reason, something in your chain is not optimized. And you have to know for yourself, which part is it? Is it because of the product that I chose? It was not more than a 1-figure product? Was it because of the content I was creating? Was it because of the converting elements that I never did? Was it because I was lazy to do another CTA? Was it because I was lazy to reply to the comments? You have to know this for yourself. All I can tell you guys, I'm always following all of my steps, which is always why I'm making always more money. As simple as that. You cannot, this is very important, if you scale, you get more problems, you get more opportunities, you make more money. If you want to make more money, you cannot neglect the basis. It is the same as here. If you start a new product, you don't forget about the first 2 levels. You still do the product for product 1 and product 2. You still put in the hours. Whereas for most of you guys, if I see you start making sales and I look at your guys' account, there's no CTA, there's maybe barely reply to any comments, there is no story online. All of you guys know what to do. You're just not doing it. You're too lazy. So, mastering the basics, something that we had over here, is actually super important. You always need to keep the basics while scaling. If you fuck up your basics, or you don't have your basics right, and you start scaling, the more you scale, and the more you forget about your basics, bam, you'll crash your business. Your basics need to be a good foundation at all times. Never forget to reply to comments. Never forget to do that extra DM. Always go that extra mile. More converting elements, more content, more IGs, more content, more TikTok, whatever it might be, always more. This is the true definition of scaling. But you need to have that solid foundation. Whilst you scale, you cannot forget to reply to comments. That was what makes you money in the first place, bro. If you don't want to do the comments because you think your time is spent on other things more wisely, cool. Find a fucking solution for somebody to reply to your comments. If you find somebody to reply to your comments for $10 an hour, but you make $100, bam! You just make $90 on autopilot, bro. But most of what you guys are doing is you just forget about the basics. And then you spin in the same cycle. It's not always about the comments. It's about so many things. So, how to actually scale? Organic Nemesis knows that he always has to do, let's add this. This is our cheat sheet. Cheat sheet, scaling. Those are like mandatory things to always keep in mind. First up, never forget where you came from. Right? You started making your first money probably by doing the best CTA, by replying to all comments. Cool. So you made your first 1K. Now you're too lazy to publish another CTA? Do the basics, bruv. Then, what's the best thing to do as a selfpreneur? Organic Nemesis is probably a selfpreneur who got some experience. He doesn't have a personal brand, so he can't just onboard 10, 20 creators from one to another day. So the best leverage he has is sharpening his own sword. What the fuck? You leaving? Alex is leaving. He's on a moon excursion. He's flying to the moon. Elon Musk sponsored his ticket. Is that a baddie leaving or Alex? I ain't gay, bruv. This is Alex. He's going Sweden. So, sharpening his own sword. What does that actually mean? Things you have to... Let me... because I can't go super specific on that. Sharpening your own sword. What does that mean? What does somebody have to master to be a fucking good ass content creator, huh? Tell me, guys. It's his Chinese supplier. What does Organic Nemesis have to master in order to scale, huh? What is it? The golden rule, we said, is output. So how does he get more output? Content, improving content quality by 1% with every video. Yes. Better systems. Yes. Time management, locking in more volume. You explain it in your course. Beautiful. So I highly recommend anyone. Oh my God. Systems. Now let me change the font to black. The fuck? Okay. Systems, more content. Let's put that / bulk editing. This is something he has to master. We're being specific. What systems does he need to have? What systems does he need to have? What does systems even mean? I don't know. Explain it to me. What's a system? How does a system work? What's a system? Most of you guys are always saying systems, but you probably don't even know what the system is. Managing time properly. Bam! Noel is cooking today. Google Calendar. That is a fucking system. If you know exactly you have 1 hour for content research, that is 1 hour of content research. If you know you have 4 hours for bulk editing, that's 4 hours of bulk editing. That is called a fucking system. Notion, boom. Notion can work as well. Notion. This is how you build systems. By tracking, analyzing data, and structuring your life. You are a businessman. You're not a random ass person just trying to create some viral videos out of thin air. We reverse engineer success. So, improve. This is super important. Improve by 1%. Coming back to Organic Nemesis. He knows for now scaling, he needs to have systems. So he's working with a Google Calendar in Q4. He knows exactly how much time he's putting in into specific tasks in order to be as efficient as possible. He knows exactly how to use his content. The content is his sword. The more he sharpens his content skills, the more money he's going to make. With content, when I say sharpen your skills with content, I mean your content needs to be a 10 out of 10. It needs to go viral every single time when you want it to go viral, and you need to exactly know how to convert on that content. This is super important. Content and conversions for organic dropshipping, they go fucking hand in hand. The more you master these two, the more money you will make. So the more content you do in less amount of time, the more money you can do, as easy as that. If you master content and you do 10, let's just say randomly, 10 videos, 1 hour. But before, you took 10 hours for 10 videos. You can now do in 10 hours 100 videos. If, let's say, your average conversion per video is $100, it's not 1K anymore. You just made 10K. It's those simple things. So I highly recommend anyone to do the bulk editing. With the bulk editing, the sooner you start actually mastering this, everyone I was talking to, after I explained to them how much more leverage you have if you actually master bulk editing, all of them always were like, holy shit, you're actually right. I'm just either too arrogant, too stupid, or too lazy to actually build that system. You have to learn this shit if you actually want to be a good as self-preneur. Again, there's source for the bulk editing online. It's actually not that deep. But I also talk about that in my most recent YouTube video, which is going to be uploaded in 2 weeks. And then next step is always so important. Organic Nemesis is not allowed to just do all of this with closed eyes. Oh yeah, okay, let me just do more content. No. Organic Nemesis has to look at his content, exactly know why this specific video didn't perform. How can he do that video better? He needs to improve. Next time he goes filming, he knows exactly how to use better lighting. He knows exactly how to do this hand movement. He knows exactly what fucking camera movement to use. That is the 1% improvement. Every single time when Organic Nemesis starts doing new content, it has to be better than the previous one. If you do the same shit for 90 days, you'll get the same results for fucking same 90 days. If you improve every single day after 90 days, you'll have a compound effect of so many different new choices that you took that you'll actually be a completely new dropshipping person. You will be a fucking demon by the end of this. It's as simple as that. Scaling is not super complicated. You can obviously go with creators and build crazy creator systems as Alex and I have. You can do different things. You can go into ads. But we're now talking about Organic Nemesis. For Organic Nemesis, this is the best thing he can do. So, and before, because now we talked about these are the basics. Now you have to adapt all of this here for your front end. Improve your Shopify website every single day. Improve your branding on all of your social medias every single time. Improve your backend on your backend. Improve your gift. Improve your supplier time. Improve your shipping prices. Add a thank you card. Whatever it might be. Make it better. This is all. More means also better. Do everything better. Improve everything. New audience. How can you bring this product to a new audience? How can you switch this marketing angle? How can you make this content better? Which market can you do? Okay, you've been running it in the US. Cool. Can this work in Germany? Can this work in Italy? Can this work in the UK? Can this work in Australia? You need to set priorities though. If you do everything at the same time, you will be spinning circles still, because then you're just improving 0.001%. Focus on one thing. Focus on the basics. Those are actually more than enough to make 100K. You don't need to have the creators. I had no fucking creators last year, bro, and I made almost 200K in revenue. So you don't need all of these things. You just need to wait on the fucking... You just need to focus on the basics. But what I'm saying, yes, improve the front end, obviously. If you finish with all of your content for today and you have another 6 hours more to go, you literally can focus on front end. Focus on all of your brandings on your accounts, because you also have to set priorities. Content is always the most important. The branding on your Instagram account is not too important. You don't need to check that every day. But at some point, when you finish your task early, go full send, improve the front end, improve the back end, all these things. And then set priorities. Which market would you go first off? Is it Germany? Is it US? Does it even make sense to go to another country, or should I just do more accounts in that specific country? This is obviously super depending on the account, on the product, whatever you're going for. So right now we can't go for a specific market allocation. Okay, let's go full send on this, or let's go full send on that market, right? Overall, you just need to scale in different markets just so you are more diversified. And then, yes, I would also say, just because I can easily teach you guys, maybe we can also add another call in here where we do like creators or something like that, because I can give you guys simple source on how to manage 2 to 3 creators. For Organic Nemesis, I would not recommend him go more than 3 creators. I would recommend him though, maybe he's starting now, it is beginning of September. Then we have October, maybe in the middle of October, when the first product actually makes the first 10K, I would probably recommend him, hey, look, maybe you want to jump on a guest call, show us how you've been doing it, because maybe one of you guys is actually the first one on the guest call. So I would offer a guest call to you. You come on stage. We actually see somebody who put in the work, exactly following this blueprint. And then he's probably going to get 2-3 creators. Those 2-3 creators, I can show them how to teach them. I already have a 3.5 hours YouTube video on that. You can check that out as well. And 2-3 creators are totally doable whilst still having focus on the basics that you're not allowed to forget. That is it. That is scaling. Scaling is not difficult. You don't have to think about Facebook ads, Facebook campaigns, CRO, blah, 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 CVR, whatever it might be. All you have to think about is more, make it better, improve every single day, and focus on the basics. Time is it? Bro, are we yapping for 1.5 hours? What the fuck, bro? 30 minutes in. Bro, I actually didn't realize. Holy shit, that was insane. That was insane. But I have to admit, that was fun. That was fun. How many products are you running for Q4 at the same time? You can run up to 7 products in Q4. Okay, it's actually super simple. We're at the end of the call. Because now what you have to understand is this is all a strategy. Right? You know exactly how to do the product path. You know exactly how to do the product launching. You know exactly how to do the scaling. Now you just have to do it more. Cool. You've done it for one product in one market. Cool. Do it for another product in a new market. New product, new market. Right now, this is all just for one product, guys. This is what you have to go through for one winning product. We have 7 days a week. You can still add 6 more fucking products. And I could probably now, with all of the knowledge that I have, I could probably be running 10 products at the same time if I didn't have the YouTube personal brand and all of this other shit to do. With all of the efficient systems that I've built, you could probably go full send on 10 products. I need a tattoo of that Miro board. This Miro board is gonna look insane at the end of all calls, bro. I'm telling you. I should make an auction for that template. Okay. So this is actually the end of the game plan call. Let me add a few more notes here just to give it this final cut. Bop. I don't even know what notes I should add here, but I'll come up with something. So first off, this is the framework for one product. This is very important. Each and every time you choose a product, you should go through all of these exact things. Like, obviously, this is the perfect scenario. As mentioned in the beginning, as you guys said, sometimes you don't go viral within the first 10 uploads, but then you just have to get better at content quality and you have to improve that specific point. But it's always the same for this product in a perfect scenario when you exactly have all of the experience that I have in that scenario. So this is all for one product. Then the second thing I would add is more equals obviously more money. And then this is the most important part. We now have a blueprint for success, which always allows us to track success and losses. We can identify problems before they even appear. And this is super important. Not game plan, war plan. Okay. So, first time actually setting the first check mark on the first call. Holy shit, bruv. So, this is done. This is actually, if you guys would look at my $1 million game plan for Q4, this is nothing, guys. This Miro board. My game plan for Q4 looks probably 10 times crazier than this. The strategies I have laid out are so much crazier. But that's also at some point. This is not because I want to flex. This is just generally giving you guys an impression of what you have to actually think about if you want to get to the next level with systems. Like, probably, yeah, I could just randomly do some videos, run some random products, and then just hopefully somehow get to 1 million. But then how do I get to the million again? With this is exactly what I was always doing. I have so many fucking Mario boards. I was always doing Mario boards for every single step in my career. If you have this exact blueprint, it's so easy to repeat. Like, I mean, if I'm able to explain this to you guys, I know even more what's even mentioned on this Mario board. For every single node that is on here, I could probably yap another 30 minutes in specific. But if I can explain this to you, and you guys have the same Mario board for you, for your game plan, you know even better how to repeat success. So, today's call was all about the game plan board. Organic Nemesis now knows exactly what he needs to do. So the next step is the product research part. That's what we'll do next week. And we'll use all of the things we already learned. We'll do the TikTok PR, the IG PR. Why the fuck does I say IG PR? IG PR, the real life PR, the Ali PR, past Q4 winners, and so on and so forth. Like, if you, I want to be honest, if you're still not making money after looking at this, you're born to lose, bro. All you have to do, like, I'm generally being as honest as I can. This is all you need. If you don't make the money, it's not because of the information that is lacking. It's just because of you not putting in the work. You have all it needs. Maybe watch this call back 10 fucking times if you have to. All you have to do is just follow this. This is literally a fucking blueprint to success. There's this one Andrew Tate quote. If some of you guys actually stops working or stops with organic dropshipping, I'm going to be super fucking mad, because do you guys remember this one Andrew Tate quote? You're going to give some people a roadmap to success. At some point, they still look at the fucking at the fucking sun, and they'll be like, fucking, oh, the sun is too bright. This is the fucking roadmap to success. All you just have to do is just fucking execute what I just told you. So, let me get you guys with the chat back on my main screen. Not glazing, but it's incredible how Nico has so much knowledge at the age of 33. How do you do your planning, Nico? Do you write it down in notes, or do you do a Miro board of your plans? I do Miro boards. I do a mix of, like, the systems I have nowadays for my business. The systems I have in place is I use a mixture of notes, Google Calendar, and Miro board, but they all work hand in hand. It's not like I use 3 separate things. Only for the notes, I only use this. Only for the game, for the Miro board, I use this specific thing. It's actually always, everything's connected. What I do on my to-do list, I write down everything that I need. On my Google Calendar, I add it, so I have it in my Google Calendar. And if I know, for example, I wasn't able to do it today, I already added it to my to-do list, to my calendar. So I know, okay, fuck, let me just move it from today to tomorrow. That way, it never gets lost on the to-do list. So every single time when I set something in my mind, I have it on my to-do list, it has to be done. Latest, when I add it to my Google Calendar, you can goddamn guarantee that this task is going to be accomplished. If it's going to be accomplished by today or tomorrow, I don't know, but I will try to accomplish it as soon as possible. And it's the same with the Miro board. All things are somehow connected. The ideas I had in my notes, I put them on the game plan in the Q4. And all these things, they sum up somehow. Okay, chat. Shall we wrap it up, or should I go through the chat again? Because I barely have looked at the chat. I have no fucking idea what you guys have been talking about all the time. W call, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Gave you the whole book on how to get rich, and you ain't even read it. Beautiful. I couldn't have said it any better. Okay, let's finish off the call with 5 rapid fire questions, because then I also have to get some food. I haven't had a lot of food today. Could you share it with the one-on-ones? Yep, I'll share it in the group chats later. Just send me a WhatsApp reminder again so I can send it afterwards. You said for the German to prioritize Germany and only later US. Why not the other way? It's super simple, because Germany and US are almost the same converting, and you will always have a competitive edge. If you're a German, US people will always have some kind of handicap. If you're German, you will never have problems with the VPN. If you're German, you can always get small controversies when it's, like, for example, grammatical errors. If you're German, you always will be one step ahead because most of the people only focus on the US, and you can just bring winning products from the US to Germany. You can use that as a strategy. As a German, you have less competition because most of the people actually just run content in the US. There's so many things, bro. Can I order car brakes and make videos and use your store as... I'm serious. Yeah, let me think about it. Right now, I'm sold out. I have 500 pending orders on Carbrace, so I'm not sure if that's a smart idea. I'll probably get banned on Shopify if I get more orders, which is kind of good. So, you guys, right now, Carbrace is super low converting. I'm always playing with open cards, but I'm also at the same time I'm never stressed. Like, there's some people they fucking start panicking if something stops converting. I told you guys that in the future as well. I think 2 or 3 months ago, Carbrace wasn't making money at all. I think 15K a month or so. And I was already having creators. I'm not fucking panicking, bro. I know exactly what we need to change in order to make money again. So I always believe in the bigger realm of things. If I'm not making the money right now, it's probably because God wants me to not get banned on my Shopify store because I literally have 500 open pending orders which I'm not fulfilling. So maybe that is the reason. Who knows? We'll figure it out. And later on, we'll see, oh, okay. Luckily, we weren't going about getting another 1,000 orders this week. Makes sense, huh? At some point, if you're such a good strategist, it allows you to actually know everything to its smallest details, that you can start thinking about things in a more what's it called? In a more methodologies way. What the fuck is the word, bro? Let me look that up. My fucking brain starts being cooked. English is not Englishing. Methodical. Methodical? No, that's not what I mean. Wait. Mythology. I think it's called mythology. It's not the exact word I'm looking for, but it's kind of similar to what I was saying. Methodology. What I want to say is, if you know everything, every single detail on your business to its T, it allows you to think on your business on a bigger perspective, right? So for my car brace, for example, although it's not converting right now, I think right now the store for this month is maybe at 6K or something like that. It's probably not going to hit 50K this month. I'm looking at the bigger picture. I don't have to look at, okay, it is we need to chase something with the product. We need to chase something with the content. We need to chase something with it. We need to chase something with this. No. Everything is fine. Take a step back. Be solution oriented. Okay. It probably has a reason. I don't know the reason yet. Let me find out what the reason is. Let me first find the problem, attack the problem, get the solution for that. And then at the end, you'll always be lucky that it turned out that way. In my life, it was never a good idea to have negative mindset. Every single time. The only thing that helped me was trying to find a solution for the problem. Boom. Next question. How did I even come up with this? Did you go in Q4 last year already having all your winning products, or did you find some in Q4? I found the race cars in Q4. They made me 10 or 15K. I found the soft ops blaster. I was running them as a creator back then for Ethan as well, and I also ran my own my own shit. They made me an 8K, I think. Those were I found small products. I didn't find my winning products. I might be honest. My biggest products, I was just scaling them. I was already finding them time ahead. But the Muslim jar, for example, I found last year in September, and it made me the most amount of money in last year in Q4. So most of the times the products you find, like I'm saying, if you find your product in November, December, you're already late to the party, which is what I was doing with the race car, because I found out that Austin, for example, last year was making 500K with that in Q4. And the soft ops I was doing with Ethan at the end of the year, because I started getting to know Ethan, I think in October or something like that, or maybe even September. And then by the time being, I started doing the soft ops. Whereas I was already preparing my products, obviously in the time ahead. Like in September, October, I was starting with the Muslim jar, and then I just scaled it in Q4. So you have to come up with the products now, before Q4. If you start finding them in November, December, it's too late. That's what I realized as well. I don't want to change topics, but whoever in Germany, you're losing today against Slovenia on Eurobasket. Muslim jar going crazy in Christmas sale. Yeah, in Germany. Because in Germany, you have to think about it. Like, it's obviously Muslims, but it's also people who are like friends. Like, let's say a German girl who's Christian maybe has a Muslim boyfriend. She obviously has to gift something to that boyfriend as well. Have you thought about that, bro? For the Muslim jar, since you found the supplier through Alibaba, did you order MOQ to Commercive and then ship out the order? Yes, exactly. For all of my custom orders, for all of my custom products, Carbrace as well, I use, what's it called? Commercive. So, that being said, let me get my phone out. Let me flex on the fucking brokies who missed out this call. Ooh, that was a big order. 251 euros. Nice. Finishing off this day with how much we had. It's not too big. 600 euros. Fuck. It is what it is. It is what it is. At least I can afford some food today. So, it was a beautiful, beautiful W call. I have to get some food. I have to take a pee. I'll see you guys next week. Spams the W's. And I wish everybody a beautiful week. Adios.